Hello, boys and ghouls. It's your Stunt Horror Heathen again. It's your favorite podcast host with the most. And I am here talking with the beautiful, the talented, the lovely Lauren LaVera, who portrays Sienna in the new movie Terrifier 2. The whole Xena Warrior badassery thing going on. I believe that Art the Clown has met his match for once. So... Lauren LaVera is an American actress born in Philadelphia. That's cool because I literally live right across the river from Philadelphia.
Yeah, South Jersey. That makes sense. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm in Palmyra, which I'm like a 5-minute drive from Philadelphia. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's
Lauren
awesome.
is known for her portraying Sienna in Terrifier 2, Sierra in Marvel's Iron Fist, which was a very good television series, by the way. I enjoy it a lot. The barista in Dispatches from Elsewhere and Ariella in A Taste of Christmas.
Yes.
Aside from her acting career, Lauren has 19 plus years experience in martial arts, including Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, Kung Khmer, Wushu, and Muay Thai, as well as studied boxing, kickboxing, weapon, and firearms training. Lauren also is trained in ballroom dance and ballet and is also fluent in Italian. Quite the reputation here. I'm jealous. In 2018, at the Kapow Intergalactic Film Festival, Lauren won an award for Best Horror Ensemble for Under the Flowers, Circle of Hell. And in 2022, she was nominated as Best Actress in Horror by the Actress Universe. That is amazing. Nice. That's cool to be nominated for awards and actually win something. That's really cool. So
Thank you. Yeah, I actually did just win another award for a completely different film, Best Supporting Actress in Not for Nothing. I didn't even know about some of that other stuff. I feel like you know more about me than I do. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
everything's on IMDb these days. That's how I get all the information from IMDb.
Oh.
So, Terrifier 2, a very good movie. Your character Sienna is a whole new level of badass in that movie. So,
Yeah, yeah, pretty wild. I mean, Sienna's pretty cool, and I'm so grateful to have been able to portray her.
And when I talked to Emily, she said she even got that same vibe when you walked into the room around the set. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Sienna, so I'm happy that people are connecting with her.
Okay, so could you describe what prompted you to audition for Sienna and why?
Well, okay, I didn't get the full script when I first auditioned. It was a self-tape, and I just got one scene, which was between Sienna and her mom, Barb. And it was a bit of an argumentative scene, and I knew pretty quickly that she was being raised by a single mother, and I was raised by a single mother. So I connected with Sienna pretty quickly and easily because I've been in, those situations, arguing with my mom and, stuff like that. So I was able to connect with her pretty quickly. And I was really interested in being able to bring my own personal experience with my own relationship with my mother and friendships in this film and stuff like that into Sienna and inject that into Sienna. So it all really came from a place of truth when it came to playing Sienna. So I was really excited to delve into those types of dynamics.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So obviously with your training in all these different kinds of martial arts, you were actually physically and mentally prepared to play that role.
Yeah, I don't know about mentally, but definitely I was ready to go. I've been doing martial arts my entire life for like almost 20 years now. And I also teach kickboxing when I'm not acting. And I think that also helps me have an outlet, and it's very cathartic for me to be able to do that. So I was ready to go. And aside from teaching kickboxing classes, I remember right before I started filming, I took a lot more kickboxing classes just so I had that perseverance and that stamina to be able to keep going. Because it was definitely very long shoot days, a lot of time put into filming this. So yeah.
So what's next? Capoeira?
I mean, I teach capoeira. I just teach regular kickboxing, but I did learn capoeira from a friend of mine who is phenomenal. It's funny because I have more stunt performer friends than actor friends, and that's just from being a martial artist for so long. And we would constantly train together and show each other moves from our perspective art forms. So yeah, capoeira was one of them, and I love that. I love that art form.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated with how they beat the drums, you move along with the beats and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really cool to watch. I mean, I watch a lot of movies that do capoeira, and I guess they classify it as Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So,
Oh yeah.
uh, and
Yeah.
it's even though people get their butts kicked, it's still fun to watch.
It's beautiful. And I think people tend to forget that martial arts isn't it is really beautiful to watch, and I enjoy it so much.
So, how do you feel about the character development of Sienna throughout the movie? I mean, going from scared to I'm gonna kick your ass if you get out of my way.
I was really grateful to be able to have that arc and to be able to demonstrate that type of range. And it's not always the case that you get that in horror films. So I loved that we were able to find Sienna first being kind of weak and unsure of herself and going through panic attacks constantly to finding her strength. And the main reason why she found her strength was to defend her family, and specifically her little brother. So I was so grateful to have that character arc. It's not every day you are offered a role that you get to demonstrate that. So I felt like for a second installment in a franchise, it was such a beautiful way to wrap it up, in my opinion.
So, have you seen Terrifier 1 yet?
Have, yes, I saw it. I saw it the day I found out I booked Terrifier 2. And I watched it multiple times, like right at one, because it's an easy watch. It's like short comparatively to Terrifier 2. And even like this Halloween season, I watched it at least 3 times before Halloween even came last week. So yeah, it's definitely become a seasonal watch for me.
That's outstanding. So, my question is, during the whole clown cafe scene, and they had your hair like pointed. It's like a reference to PB Longstocking or something. Because I have to know.
I don't know. Yeah, I remember Jackie who did my hair and makeup. She put like I don't remember what she used. She used like wire or like a clothing hanger. I don't remember exactly what she used, but I loved it. I was obsessed with that look. I don't. I guess that's something to ask Damien, and I'm not even sure if he wants people to have the whole backstory of that dream because it's not just a dream. And I think he gets into it more in the DVD release or the Blu-ray release of Terrifier 2. So yeah, maybe you can get some answers there because I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Well, I've been trying to reach out for Damien for a long time, and I'm still patiently waiting for his replies. So,
Yeah. It's so funny. I just spoke to him earlier today because I told him like, how many meetings and interviews I have today. And he's just like, I'm exhausted. I can't even do it. And like he's just tired, which I totally get because just it's been a lot. We went from 0 to 100 in a month. So it's just been a little overwhelming. But again, we're very grateful, but it's just a little exhausting.
well, I'm very grateful that you're here, that you've accepted the invitation this time. This
Yes, I'm
is
happy to be here.
so I feel great. So, knowing your physique and your training and martial arts, were there any times you felt where any scenes were too difficult to do?
Too difficult? No, I mean they were definitely attainable. They were also harrowing and exhausting. And there were definitely times on set I was like, oh, we're doing that today. Like I knew I could do it, but I knew it would hurt and I knew I would be exhausted and I knew that and we would also be filming in the middle of February in Philadelphia. So we filmed most of the end. In fact, I think all of the end at the Fright Factory in Philadelphia. I don't know if you've ever been there since like you live fairly close, but it's a great haunt in Philly. I highly recommend people go check it out because all the set pieces that you see at the end of the film are just in the haunt. They're just a part of the haunt. So we were really lucky to be able to film there. But a lot of the fight scenes were harrowing and exhausting and painful. So I knew I could do it, but I definitely was dreading it when I knew it was coming.
Like, oh, not that one again. Come on, guys.
My body hurts.
So when I did interview Emily last week, and she is an awesome person. I really like her a lot. Um, she said that she enjoyed working with you, and she called you an absolute badass, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah. And working with Damien and David on the set, I mean, I've met David numerous times at conventions. He's a really cool and sweet guy. Damien, I'm not too sure, but do you feel the same, that they're actually really cool people to work with?
they're fantastic. I had the wonderful pleasure to be able to have dinner with Damien and Dave right before I started filming, and they just were so welcoming, and they made a lot of the stress just evaporate. And I was so happy to be able to connect with them on a more human level. And I still am friends with them today. And I think that's a testament to the type of people that they are, because, you know, you usually go your separate ways after you're done filming, but we've all kept in contact, and we've all like stayed pretty tight knit. So I'm really grateful for the cast and crew that I was just so pleased to be able to work with.
Yeah, there's one time I worked at a convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and David was there. He was signing autographs, especially, and I was in charge of the break room, where I had to make sure that the right people were walking in and out of the break room. And my back was turned. He scared the living hell out of me with that damn horn.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's such a jokester, that guy. And he gets a kick out of scaring people. So that's not surprising, but it's also pretty great.
No, I laughed about it because all I heard, I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah,
His
he's
little black hat on is really cool. So,
through that one.
okay, weird question, and I'm pretty sure I already know what the answer is going to be. In the end, in the movie, do you believe that Art was extremely terrified when you had your moments of channeling that badass warrior persona?
Do I think he was scared of?
Yeah,
Hmm,
like Art the character. Do you think it's like a third person kind of way?
I'd like to think that there was. I think he was more surprised than scared, in my opinion. I don't know. I see Art as this just horrifying creature. It's really hard to think that he'd ever be scared of anybody. But I do think more than anything, he was angry and surprised that I was able to best him in the way that I did. But I think maybe in the future, if Sienna does come back, I think he will have a reason to be scared, because I think Sienna is only going to level up.
We have second thoughts next time. It's like, I remember. Nope. You just go over there. So, having the title "Final Girl," because it's a prestigious title in horror movies, and you, in my opinion, you are now regarded as a final girl in horror movies. How does that make you feel?
So immensely grateful. I mean, I grew up on the best Final Girls, you know, like I love Laurie Strode. She's like mother Final Girl. And of course, Nancy and Sydney and Ripley and Sarah Connor and all of those. Just to have the title and to be in the same category as those incredible women that have inspired me endlessly in my entire life is, I don't think I can really put it into words. I'm just really grateful and humbled for the whole experience.
Well, having that on your resume now is going to make you stand out a lot. So,
We'll see.
you see, because in my opinion, I've been watching horror movies for a long time, for about 20 years now,
Mhm.
and I know a lot of people, I would say actors that are striving to get that title, but you got it in just one single role. So, which is very tremendous and very paramount, and that's one thing. Just putting a notch in your belt. Like, hey, look at me! I'm a final girl now. Let's stay back. So,
Thank you. Yeah, again, I'm just so incredibly grateful, and I realize that it can be really hard to attain, and I'm just so grateful to have had the opportunity.
so Terrifier 2 is still making a lot of money at the box office, and it's crazy, and it's still continuing making tons of money, and is considered to be a huge success in the horror community. How does that make you feel?
So surprised. I don't think I didn't even think that this film would get into theaters, because I was aware of the contents within. But I'm continuously surprised that it continues to expand and extend its showing in the theaters. And again, really grateful and happy about it, but also just immensely surprised, because I would have never in my wildest dreams thought that this would happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have seasoned actors in the movie. You have Felissa Rose, Tamara Glenn,
Mhm.
and Chris Jericho, which I was very surprised to see in the movie.
Yes.
So were you excited to work alongside them as well?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I know that Halloween 4 and 5 aren't necessarily like I mean, maybe they are, I don't know, but in the circles that I've been in, it's not like a lot of people's favorites. I loved those movies growing up because I don't know, I just really connected with Danielle Harris's character as like a child watching that film and seeing Tamara Glynn, who of course is from Halloween 5, like I was just like kind of starstruck when I saw her and I was like, "Oh my God, like I loved Halloween 5 and I loved your work in it." And she was just so incredibly sweet. And same with Felissa Rose. Like, I mean, come on, I love Sleepaway Camp. So those women really like, I don't know, I felt so welcomed in the horror community, being a woman in horror by them. And they had some really wonderful, welcoming words for me. And I'm still really grateful to have those moments in my life and those memories. Chris Jericho, though, I didn't really get the opportunity to like really hang out with him on set like I did with the ladies. But he did reach out to me after the film came out and just with like really wonderful words and just like really, really thoughtful things via text. And we were just kind of fangirling over each other a bit via text. And he's just phenomenal. That he returns in future installments of the franchise because I thought he was great. I thought he was fantastic.
Yes, that's awesome because I've met Felissa Rose numerous times. She follows me on Instagram and Twitter, and
She's so sweet.
and so is Tamara Glenn. They both follow me. But Chris Jericho, I didn't know he was in a band until like 5 years ago, which blew my mind.
He's just like a multifaceted artist. Like, what can't that man do? So he continues to inspire me, and I'm just so happy that I had the opportunity to work on the same project with him. And it's his birthday today. It's his birthday today. I almost
Is it
forgot.
really?
That man is ageless. Yeah. So happy birthday to Chris Jericho, and he's amazing. I love him.
So, is there anything you could tell us about Terrifier 3 is coming out, or is that like hush hush, secret squirrel kind of stuff?
I no, I don't think I can. I mean, I don't know. I've signed so many NDAs recently that I have no idea what I can share. I will say this. I mean, Damien has approached me with multiple project ideas that are even outside of Terrifier 3. So I will gladly and happily work on anything that man throws at me. But I'm hoping that Sienna levels up. So I guess we'll see.
Well, in my opinion, I think there's got to be a 3 because at the end of 2, there's a total cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So,
Not really sure what I'm allowed to say, but I do know that Damien has said, both publicly and privately, that he has huge plans for the next installment of Terrifier, so much so that he might break them up into a Terrifier 3 and a Terrifier 4. So we'll see.
okay. I'm not going to bug you more about that because I know you can't really see these.
Question. I just wish I could share more, but
Oh, I get it. I get it. Amelie said the same thing. She said she couldn't share anything as well. And I understand.
yeah,
I'll work with the government. There's a lot of things I can't talk about. So,
totally. Yeah, you
so
get
I
it.
get it.
Anybody. So yeah, absolutely.
And last but not least, and finally, as a token of my appreciation, you being on here and taking your time to speak with me, I would like to offer you a free South Jersey Podcast T-shirt, if that's okay with you.
Totally. Yeah, I'll take a t-shirt. Thank you.
So what I need is I'm going to put the order in tomorrow because I get these from a manufacturer down the street from me. I support small businesses everywhere, and they make shirts for me all the time.
Hmm.
I'm sure that your manager can give me an address where I can mail it to.
Yeah, I'll have my manager take care of that. Yeah.
Okay. So there's women's shirts and men's shirts, but a lot of women actors I've been talking to have been ordering men's shirts. I don't know why, but whatever.
Something, I mean, it's kind of the style now, right? I think Billie Eilish kind of started she brought that baggy shirt back that was kind of really big in like the 90s or 2000s, whenever it was. So I don't know, I'll take whatever you got. I'm not really picky about it. Just take whatever.
Because I just talked to Kim Bubbs about 2 hours ago. She played Juliet in The Thing 2011,
Ooh.
and she ordered a men's medium. I'm like, okay. So,
It doesn't really matter to me, whatever you got, honestly, whatever you got.
well, what size do you normally wear?
I usually wear like a small shirt, but like that's women's. But like men, I'll go from small to extra large. I really don't have a preference.
Okay. Well, I have to give the manufacturer something to know what size make for me.
Yeah, give me the men's large. Why not?
Okay,
Let's crazy with it.
I can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the wonderful, the talented, and the most badass person I've seen as a final girl, Lauren LaVera. Super awesome. Thank you so much for giving me your time today and talking to me about Terrifier 2. I really do appreciate it. I'm very grateful. I'm very humble. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck and success in your career.
Oh,
And to see you in more and more and tons of more movies. So
thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. It's such a joy to talk to you. And thank you so much for inviting me and for being so flexible with your schedule. I really appreciate it. Yeah, such a pleasure. Hopefully we'll talk again in the future.
of course, of course. All right. I don't know if you have social media. I follow you on social media,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll find you on the socials. Let me see. I don't know if it would be on Benjamin Doodle. How do you pronounce that?
It's Dutil.
Bill. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes Doodle's funny, but
Well, that's my actually my nickname.
oh, really? That's adorable. Yeah, I'll have to find you on socials. I do have another meeting in about 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, just whenever. Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. And I'll have my manager reach out to you. But thank you so much for being so giving. That's so wonderful. I could always use a fun t-shirt, so thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, we'll
thank you
talk.
so.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll have my manager connect with you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a
All
great
right, thank you. Bye bye.